Hello, I'm Derek Monroe. Come along with me as I interview some of the industry's top beauty insiders, along with a few celebs, on this episode of Behind the Scenes Beauty. Okay, you're watching another episode of Behind the Scenes Beauty with the mother of my children, the host of Strahan.
It's true.
Strahan, Sarah, and Keke, the love of my life. Now, we're going to try not to do this whole interview like this, but I
was promised we could. That's why I said yes to the interview. I love you, Dee.
I love you, Sarah. Thank you for doing this interview,
Thank you
Sarah.
for having me.
How are you?
Good. I saw that Raven did one of these, and I was like, I thought you loved me. Why have I not been invited?
And you know
so
what?
I booked myself.
No. And soon as you said it, everyone was like, oh my God, will Sarah do one? And I said, Sarah, will you do it? And Sarah said
Dee, I'd
she
walk
would.
across coals of fire for you.
Oh my
Hot
God, I'm going to
coals.
hold you to that. I'll see you next week.
I love you so much. Anything you ever need, you know this.
Okay.
Okay.
So everyone probably don't know your story. So let's start your story. Where are you from?
I am from Newton, Iowa.
Midwest girl.
Literally the middle of the whole country. If you do this and then poke your finger right in the middle, that is what I call my home.
Okay. So you're from Iowa and you have siblings?
Yep, I'm the third of four. I have two older sisters and a younger brother.
Okay. So you're in Iowa and you're thinking to yourself, how do I get to New York? Did you ever think about a job in TV?
No, I used to. When I was growing up, I always said I wanted to have a job with a briefcase because my dad carried a briefcase. He seemed important, I think, and he was really good at what he did. So I said, I'm going to have a job with a briefcase.
Come on, job with a briefcase.
And that was well past the age when I should have known what those jobs were. And I just kept saying, as long as I have a briefcase, I will have a job.
Okay, I love that. Okay. Oh my God, I'm gonna try my best to get through this because you just automatically make me laugh and smile. So okay.
I love you.
So
no, but I didn't ever say I wanted to go to New York. What I eventually liked is I loved comedy.
Gotcha.
So eventually I kind of thought what I hear in the movies is that's in New York and LA.
Yes.
And I was much more New York in the sense that if you fail at something, the best of everything is in New York.
Right.
So I'm sure you'll find another job, maybe with a briefcase, that you can do.
True that. Okay, so how did you toss up between LA and New York?
Well, first of all, I went to school in Massachusetts. I studied government.
Okay.
So I love the Northeast.
Okay.
I am not a city person, but I'm even less an LA person.
Gotcha.
From what I've heard.
Gotcha.
So I thought New York would be the perfect place, and so many people from where I went to school everyone flocks to the city.
Gotcha.
So I knew I'd know someone.
Okay, so you're studying government. So what were your intentions? What job were you looking to be? A U.S. senator, or were you?
No, well, I am it's funny. I'm very safe with my decisions. I'm a Virgo. I have a plan A, B, C.
Okay.
D, E,
yeah,
you know the rest of the alphabet. So I thought odds are I'm not going to make it in what this business is because that just doesn't support anyone actually making it,
Okay.
But I'll try because I will regret not trying.
Uh-huh.
But then I'll keep that academic degree because when I get my briefcase and that job with my briefcase, I'm going to need one of those really academic degrees. So that was my plan.
Okay. And so you come to New York. And you used to work at NBC. I don't know if anybody
I became
knows
a
it.
page,
You
yes.
became a page.
NBC.
So, and I've heard you talk about this page program at The View when you were there. Tell us about this page program.
So the NBC Page program is an amazingly reputable program, and I'm not complimenting myself.
Uh-huh.
But at the time, I was trying to get into the program, but I didn't have anything on my resume that would have gotten me in. I was a government major, and I didn't have any internships because in the summer, when you're from Iowa, you go home and see your family, which means I waited tables, I was a nanny. I didn't do the kinds of things that made me desirable in New York.
Right.
So I stopped a guy on a train one day. His name was Gary Quinn. He's still at NBC. And I told him I was speaking as fast as I could because I thought I might scare him. Mm-hmm. I was 23. I was like, I don't know why. My mom always said, just don't approach people in New York because everyone's scary. So I told him I wanted to get in the program. He said, have you sent your resume? And I was like, yeah. He said, email me later, send me your resume, and I'll see what I can do. At that time, it was very common if someone sent your resume that they'd at least give you an interview.
Right.
And I knew give me an interview and I will sell myself because I am so enthusiastic. I'm such a hard worker. I'm so grateful to even be in the room that I can take it from there. And that's exactly what happened. He got me, that got me an interview, and then the rest is history.
Okay, so with the Page program, is that to be on-air talent or just to be behind the scenes?
Just
to sort
learn
of
the
learn?
business.
Okay.
So what I thought is if I'm going to be auditioning for comedy and taking acting classes, I should know a little more about what I'm signing up for. So I thought the TV business, I always called Page program like the window shopping of media. You can see and learn as much as you want if you're willing to. So I thought I'll kind of do a crash course by doing the Page program and pay my bills with the little that we made. But then I'll be learning what this business is. And I did.
Okay, so because you worked at the Today Show?
Yeah, so after that, they hired me out of the Page program to work at the Today Show.
Okay, so wait a minute, at the Page program, are you following certain shows?
So what it is it's a year-long program that at the time, it's changed a little bit. The primary duties of a Page is to do tours of 30 Rock and also to fill audiences. So whenever audiences are coming in at the time to Conan, Rosie O'Donnell, Saturday Night Live, the Pages are the ones navigating all of them. So your basic duties are that, which some people could consider boring. I loved it. I was like, I'm in the building. I've got this sassy little uniform. I was so excited. But then you compete as you become older in the program to get assignments on shows, which are short-term jobs. And so I got to work on Rosie O'Donnell. I got to work on Saturday Night Live, the Macy's Day Parade, Last Call with Carson Daly. You compete against other Pages. So you interview it. They pick who they like the most. So you're like job interviewing among Pages.
And so then they hired you and you went to the Today Show.
Then they picked, a job opened up and they picked me.
Okay, so how long were you there?
I was there until I left to come here. I was in the same job because after a year of doing this job as a production coordinator, which is like kind of the operations of any show, I told my boss, after I'd proven myself, I don't tell people I want to be on air because I think there's a judgment there. So I thought I'll make a reputation first as a really hard worker. And a year in, I told my boss, what my real dream is this. And he said, if you're honest with me and you tell me when you need to leave or do auditions, I know you're not going to drop the ball. So this will be a mutually, this will work. Okay, done. And he kept his end of the bargain. Anytime I needed to leave for an audition, he let me, and I stayed in that position.
That was very smart of you to think ahead of, to beat them to the punch, to not think that you were just trying to be on air. Because so many people come with these intentions, and they don't prove themselves, and they say, because all they do is say, I want to be at this level. They don't say, look, I'm willing to come in at this level. So I think that was very intelligent of you, Miss Sarah.
Thank you.
Didn't know that about you. Well, I knew that you were intelligent.
I mean, of course you did. But no, so that's where I stayed until I went on. So I literally went from booking cars to someone asking me if I'd like a car in the same job. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Okay. So then you come to The View. So wait a minute.
So I was a production coordinator, and then I started doing digital pieces thinking I was making a reel for other things, because I'd slowly gone from comedy to more hosting, because I realized I wasn't as funny as I thought I was.
I think you're hilarious.
I think I'm hilarious, but that doesn't pay the bills. So I wasn't paying the bills, and I realized that hosting combined more some of the comedy with the public speaking that I had always done. So it was like a perfect marriage. So in that, I was making a reel. So I'd do interviews at the Today Show because they needed content for the web. And I was like, awesome.
So you were sort of their social media.
That's how I started. I did all that, and then they kept they were really great with me. It was a lot of people helping. They were like, come be on Kathy Lee and Hoda. I said, Kathy Lee, I don't do anything special. I'm not a chef. I'm not a trainer. She goes, no, but you're young. Come make us young. She just teased it. I was like, I'm young? I guess it's all perspective, because I felt like I'd been in an entry-level position for 7 years. I was like Kenneth the Page in a real job. So then I went on, and they kept creating things. The whole time I'm thinking, this will be really powerful if it has the Today Show all over it. And meanwhile, TV was changing, and there was kind of a place for me. So I went to the executive producer, and I was like, would you ever put me on air? He's like, I put you on air every day. I was like, no, pay me to be on air, so I'm not rushing to my desk to order cars and catering. And he was like, yeah. And I thought, oh my God, a friend gave me that piece of advice. He said, if you can leave the Today Show to go find another job without ever having asked if they'd keep you, then cool. And it planted that seed of, oh my God, if I leave without ever having asking, what if they would have kept me?
Right.
And that meeting, I ran right in the room and asked, and that's what got me my first contract.
So how did you end up over here at ABC?
So I was there on air 2009 to 2013, and then ABC had come to me like a year out and said, would you ever consider other things? And I thought, you know, I'm kind of an imposter. Like, I'm in a news division, but I don't really do news. Don't enjoy it. Don't really, you know. And they were like, well, we would love for you to come over. I was like, oh, maybe you should watch more of my work, and then you let me know if you like. So every place in TV was changing. So when they brought me over, they said, we'd love for you to do pop news. I was like, okay. They do know what I do. Yes. So they said, we want you on weekend pop news, and you never know where that'll take you. And I was like, I could do that, I think.
So was that a financial jump? Was like NBC paying you better?
Well, I was barely making anything at NBC. So when
you wasn't risking a whole.
I was. Everyone was going to eat better.
Okay.
No, because when I got my first contract, I literally, the way I pitched myself is I said, I'd be like recession talent. He goes, how much do you make here? And I told him, and he goes, okay, kind of like, we only have to beat that price.
Okay.
We're good.
Right. You really needed a manager at that time to say, boost that price up so they think you get paid more.
When I said in that meeting I would do it for free, and he goes, one, never say that in a meeting again. I was like, okay, learning every day. But I was so excited.
Right.
And then when ABC took me, NBC had told me they love me. I grew up there, and I do believe they love me, but they didn't see me doing anything more. And it's not that I think sometimes people get wrapped up in, I can do anything. If I can do this, I can be an actor. I can be the main person on a news show. I knew enough to know I wasn't that, but I didn't want to have quit on myself and seen what more could look like. Right. Because I'd rather have left and failed and said, than never have tried. So hearing someone say, this is it, was really hard for me. So that's why I left.
I think that's such the common ground of anybody that has made it to any level, because that's how I looked at life. Like, if I fail, guess what? It doesn't really matter. I come back home.
Yeah.
I'll survive.
But to not try haunts you.
It is. It's the worst. And I'm always pushing people to, like, go out there, try, because life is so short. I've lost so many people in my life. I could not imagine living a life where I didn't at least give it my all and just.
Oh my gosh, that is a looming regret. To not have done something you want to do in this short blip, I couldn't handle carrying that.
Yes. So, so you're at ABC. So, did you originally come to The View? Like, was The View the first place? Or you were just in the news division doing the pop?
News division, and for like 10 years, people would ask me, like in meetings or auditions, what's your dream job? Because they wanted an image. And I said, I've always wanted to be at like a two-person show, like a Kelly and Michael or a Kathy Lee and Hoda.
Right.
Woman, man. Or The View. So there are literally interviews from 10, 15 years ago where I said those things. When The View asked me to fill in, I told Max, it was an email that said, The View would like you to come. And I was like, I'm framing that. Like, dreams have come true. That was the end. I was like, done and
even
done.
If I'm not even a regular.
I didn't care. To visit means the dream came true. So I took a picture of the cable announcement, like The View and Sarah Haines I was like, oh my God. I cried on my couch. So I visited once, and then they called me back that fall. A couple months later, a lot of time had passed. Maybe they had a lot of other phone calls to make first. But then they started calling me in regularly. That was just next level. And when they announced me as a host that following season, every day, there wasn't a day I went out there that I didn't watch the intro, where the wave.
Yeah.
Where as much as Joy teased me, like, why'd you do that silly wave? The symbolism of that moment was not one day did I take it for granted.
Oh, you were on maternity. You had your first son, Alex, when I came.
I didn't realize you weren't there when I got
there.
there.
No, you had just had the baby.
Okay.
I think you were coming back.
Yes.
Yeah, because I started with Raven in maybe like March. I think you had the baby in December.
No, I had the second baby in December. I had the first one in March. So I would have come back.
Okay, so that's why you were.
A couple months later.
Right. So my point, you weren't there when I got there. But
you didn't know how good that show got.
Oh my goodness. I thought we were at a plateau, but you took us higher.
You raised me up.
Okay, you did. You really did. I mean,
Well, that was behind the scenes, though, because there was a group of us that had so much fun together.
Yes. And no, but I mean, no, I think it was like on the show, because we were talking prior, before we started the interview, that I always thought you were the perfect balance. I felt like everyone on their show had these hard stands, and you were that person that after everyone had made their case, you would collectively say, now, Sunny. Now, Joy. Now, can't you both see each other's points? But, you know, and I think that's needed, like someone that's listening, because everyone's trying to make a point, but it's not always someone actually is listening. And I think you were listening a lot of times. And I also wanted to ask you, like, because you're coming up in the business, so did you ever, because we all are fighting stereotypes that people place on us, and so you're the blonde hair, blue-eyed beauty. And so
I added beauty to the script.
So are you having to prove that you're not there because you are that, and that, oh, you're only there because you're pretty and people like you? Like,
yeah, I think my biggest fear in life is ever to be dumb, like to not know what, like, you spend so much time in this world, you have so many opportunities to learn, and I make a lot of dumb mistakes. My brother's like, you're the dumbest smart person I know. I had to say it right. Could have swapped seats. Because there are moments where I'll say something that is so dumb that I'm like, I will later on say, did I miss the day they told me beef was a cow and pork was a pig? Like, literally, did I miss that day? Maybe I called in sick. Like, there are moments where there are gaping holes. And my brother will be like, I don't know how it happens. I don't know when it happened, but it's there. So I think I always overachieved in school to prove that. Like, I always was an AP student. I wanted to go to a good school. Graduating was so important. I even left for a year because I was struggling, and I was determined to go back to the same school because it was Smith College, which is a really great school. And I was like, I will end with that degree. Like, I'm leaving with that. Mm-hmm. So to go to a show like The View with such smart, capable, competent women, that's a big, important responsibility to sit in any of those chairs.
Yeah.
So I think going there, I always took that responsibility so seriously that I have to know if you're turning us on and there are 5 women there, you better have spent the time to know what you're talking about.
And then it's not even just the panel. It's like some of these guests that come sometimes. It's like,
oh, don't even get me started on the guests. I can only handle the hosts right now. But I think you do fight that because there's nothing unique about me, like in a packaging. So there's a lot of privilege that comes with that everywhere you go. Now, there are always going to be hotter, younger people than what you bring, but I think I've always considered my life so vanilla. There's people that are challenged in life that deal with a struggle. Mm-hmm. My brother's gay. Like, when you've had something that you've gone against, your character wins. Like, if you don't become bitter, your character wins. The most interesting people I know are the ones that constantly ran into things. So I think on the surface, my appearance would lead one to believe it's been simple, but I think there's always a journey no one knows about, things you battle on your own. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that's where I take my shape from too. Yeah,
I felt like your personality always shined through. When you left us, oh my God,
I'm still mourning.
It was only 2 most devastating days that I've spent at The View, and it was when Raven left, and it was when you left.
I have a big announcement. It is bittersweet. So I'm going to start with the bitter part, which is just the sad part. I will be leaving the show for the best reason, but I have to start with this. I was also dealing with that morning when Raven left.
I'm excited and sad, but mostly excited. I have an announcement to make. I'm going to be leaving here. I'm going to be leaving at the end of the year.
She was my happy place.
Your sidekick.
She made me laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, so I understand.
Yeah, but we mourned you, and not only that, but we were like the puppy dog that would look outside just to see if she come. Oh, she's not coming.
Do you know how many days I've waited for you by that door? Do you know how many days I have waited by my own door with my tail wagging?
Is it a possibility? No. And then we're like we were like, oh, but she had a whole show. We're happy for her, but please come back, because like you made the day. Like, I mean, so many people don't get to know how great you are, and I mean, I guess it definitely comes through on camera, but to know you personally, and every day is a happy day. And the thing about it is, even if you're going through a bad situation, I know you had lost a friend's child had passed and stuff. Even when you went through bad stuff, you're that person that you don't let it exude to how you treat other people. And that's huge. Like, you are an amazing person. Like, I just love you to my core.
I love you.
But let's go on to the next phase of your life.
Because the love will come back into the next part.
It's going to come.
It's going to come back.
Okay, so then they took you away from me. But they gave you a show.
They gave me a show.
A lot of great things coming. And I'm sending my love back to you, Sarah Haines. I'll see you soon.
Love you too, Michael. Now let's do this.
So, you're here at Strahan, Sarah, and Keke. And so, how has that been for you?
Well, as much as I miss the whole view, like not just the women people see at home, but it was really so much of my day-to-day morale is really based on the hours spent behind the scenes and the laughing. And I just clearly, hopefully we're capturing this. That has been a huge loss for me. I miss it. I miss
the videos, the dancing.
Oh my gosh, the silly behind the scenes stuff.
The Keke challenge.
No, oh my gosh, the Keke challenge, but also, oh my God, I never thought, like, but then also the spinning the Ariana Grande and the album cover. So many things. Where do we start?
Right, exactly.
But I think this show, because it was a place where the View in this day and age, you know, with the politics, makes it so important.
Yes.
But it's also a divided time in the country. And I think so few people are listening, and most people are wanting to talk. And it's a separating force. This show came along, and the whole point was no politics. We are going to be a place that reminds everyone we're more alike than different, and we're going to laugh.
Yes.
Those are things I love. Like, it's the reminders that even though the topics sometimes seem silly or arbitrary, it's more to say, you got something to say about this, because you don't have to hurt. You don't have to be angry.
Yeah.
You don't need to defend yourself right now. Come join us.
Yes.
Come sit with us.
Yes.
The whole vibe is very much in line with my mission in this world.
Yes.
So to sit and laugh every day, and the thing I can say about Michael and Keke and myself is, we want a place where everyone's psyched to be there. It's what I loved most about my people at The View, was we were excited every day to see each other. We were truly grateful. This place, that's the whole tone, is come, we want to have fun. We know what matters, and that's not what we're doing here.
Right, exactly.
So you also leave at the end of the day.
Right. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. We're not curing cancer. We're not changing the world, but hopefully you laughed.
Yeah.
And that's all we want to do. So as much as I miss that other part of me, I just love being a place for people to come when they're feeling alone, angry, disheartened, lacking faith. This is a place that hopefully renews that.
I don't know if I didn't have enough sleep that day or something, but I cried the day y'all gave the little boy the drum set.
How cute was that little boy? He set his little plastic drum across so fast, he ditched that little Fisher Price and like ran.
It was so cute.
He couldn't even touch the pedals.
Yes. It was an amazing show.
And we are leaning into the human interest. And I love that, because people will often ask me who my favorite person I've met. And I always say...
I say Sarah Haines every time.
You know what? So many people do, Derek.
Yes.
You're special, but so many people say that.
Exactly.
But what I say is I probably haven't met them yet, because my favorite stories in this business are the ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, the magic... The celebrity and fame is really blingy and fun to watch, but the extraordinary people are walking among us every day, and we're leaning into those stories. And to see someone rewarded for something they've done well in this world, it instantly is tears for me. And you know I'm a crier.
You and me both.
And this show allows us to, it's not huge rewards or anything, because we're not Oprah yet.
Right.
Yet. But we are able to give them things like their sponsored segments, and to be able to give, like today, there was a woman that we gave like a garden to, like she grows for the shelters and all this stuff. We ended up passing over total $10,000 through a sponsor and everything. And I was like, to sit here and know you're doing that, it's not cancer, but it feels like something.
It does change the world though, because people pass it on. That person, from what you guys did, that person's going to do nice to that person, and it changes their lives and their perception on what's possible, because sometimes you feel inundated with the fact that everyone's against you, it's that you have no hope, and then you guys come and you give that. So that's...
And it's always people that are already doing something great, so you're just fueling kind of an angel for good anyway.
And you're shedding light on the fact that there are good people in the world.
Everywhere.
Because if you watch the news, every 5 seconds somebody getting stabbed and shot. So you have now collected a lot of experiences. I need from today's show to The View to here. What are some of your amazing lessons?
Okay, so I've always, at the Today Show, I would say I learned that when you say, life's a journey, not a destination, if you truly live that way, you're always going to win. The way I looked at it is, at the time I was doing all these digital videos I mentioned, because I loved that work, I wasn't getting paid for it. So I'd come in sometimes 3 and 4 hours before I was in and edit at nights and on the weekends with my friend, who's now a producer, that was a PA at the time. We do that because we loved the work.
Right.
That made the content that eventually took me to what everyone says they want to do. I want to be on air. I want a contract. But if you're loving what you're doing, who cares?
Right.
And we were loving what we were doing. So that's one thing. I would also say, don't necessarily take no for no, because I was told no a lot along the way, understandably, because you're asking big asks. But what I would do is say, okay, if that way is a detour, like if I can't do that, how do I keep following the same mentality of enjoying it and getting to do what I want without any reward? So sometimes you have to go sideways. So I once did a speech at my college that I said, when you can't go in the front door, climb in the window. And that pretty much sums up a lot of the journey along the way. And I would say what I've learned here at Strahan, Sarah, and Keke is, don't hold on to things too tightly that you lose what you're getting.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes in life we almost become rote autopilot about what we want, what we've always wanted, what we're going to do, and then we stop seeing the many things around us that are beautiful and amazing. And when you stop and just let go and look around, often you're getting so much. And you don't want to miss that. And I think I learned that along the way.
Because we all have these preconceived notions of what the destination looks like.
Yeah.
And we don't realize it has all these other things that come along with it.
And if you're too busy looking for that, you might miss what you're actually getting.
Yes.
So that's been like a human lesson for me.
Okay. So behind the scenes beauty, even though we haven't talked about beauty.
Because it's apparent on my face.
Exactly.
Oh shoot, what are we talking about? I'm foggy.
Yes. Okay, so I want to ask you about the pressure of, you've had 3 kids.
Yes.
You don't look it. I will say, when you had your first one, and even your second one, I was like, people probably hate her. Because you fit that whole, like if I was a girl at home, I would say, Sarah is that girl that came right back and looks like she never even had a baby at all. And so, I guess my question is, like, did you feel that pressure to, like, oh my God, I gotta get rid of the weight, I'm on television? Did you care?
Well, before I ever got into this business, I'm making a stereotype, but I think a lot of women battle how they look. It's not literally how they look, but it's how they feel they look.
Right.
So I think just being a girl and then a woman, I've always been aware of my body and whether I was confident or not. You can really tell if I was happy or not in life based on the size of my face in my photo albums. So with that said, I tend to vary in size. I think with my pregnancies, the big thing was, as someone that knows I can put on weight on a weekend if I want. That pregnancy could be a perfect storm of opportunity, because you hear people saying, you're eating for 2, oh, you're pregnant. And I thought, Mama can't afford such laziness with her eating, because you've not seen me until you've seen me.
Right.
So I thought, be careful.
Right.
So I went in saying, I ate tons of crap because I was very nauseous, and I'd eat whatever felt good. And sometimes that was pizza followed by pancakes, followed by nachos.
Right.
So it was carb on carb action. But
Was that with the first one, with Alex?
that was last weekend.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that was with all of them.
Right, okay.
I did it with all of them
Okay.
as I was sick in the beginning.
Gotcha.
As the sickness passed, I would start to adapt back to what I ate regularly, because I thought there's going to be some getting back no matter what. Mm-hmm. So I want to make that part as easy as possible, because I'm now going to be a mom, which is going to be hard as heck. So I'm just going to try to set myself up to succeed. And with each one, that's kind of what's happened. When people ask me now, how did you lose it so fast? I honestly just kind of food tasted good again, because this last pregnancy I was nauseous the whole way.
Oh, really?
So I wasn't going to be eating salmon or...
Which is strange, because normally it's bad the first kid. I talk like I done had kids. But it's...
I know. You look really
but
good.
thank you. You know, I bounce back quick.
Your baby weight didn't stay.
But they always say, though, that the first one is harder, then it's like after that it's not that bad.
Well,
but
there are different pluses. So after your first one, your body, if you deliver regularly, gets better.
Okay.
Just go there with that. But the pregnancy itself, each one was standalone. Like they were very different, and the third was my hardest one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you were sick most of the
I almost till the end. So to just get flavors back, because your hormones are in your saliva and everything, things literally taste different. So when I got back to eating well, I was so excited to be able to eat like crunchy salads and salmon. I went right back to what foods I always knew to eat. And you are so busy. I'm nursing. I went back to work really fast on this third one because you don't get a show often. And even though I know that family matters first, I also know that I need to do what's best for my family in the long term.
Exactly.
And that was definitely working. So from nursing to running around to just not enjoying eating. If I get the option, when I like to eat, I like to Netflix, binge, eat ice cream, and lay in bed. Sleep is a luxury with little babies. So when we get the option, Max will look at me, he's like, you want dinner or sleep? Sleep. Like it's always sleep. So I find myself not eating as much, just like in volume, because I usually want to sleep.
So is there, because with 3 kids, do you have time to work out, or basically you manage everything with just eating?
Well, mostly eating. So I do believe in the 80% is what you eat, 20% is the working out. But I don't like to do high impact when I'm nursing or pregnant, because a trainer once told me, you are stressing your skin so much in general with pregnancy. And so if like snapping back, meaning if your skin elasticity and everything, you want it back, don't stress it so much. So even though high impact's not bad for the baby, I always kept it more to like walking and toning. And because I'm not done nursing yet, I'm still just doing, I try to hit a certain amount of steps and I do some arm exercises, but the rest is just food.
Gotcha. Okay, well, it's working for you, my love.
Thank you.
Okay, so what, my last thing, well, sort of my last thing. What are some beauty things? Because I know you're very carefree. You are not caught up in this whole television world. Soon as the camera goes off, every time at the View, you were like, where's a wipe?
Well, I leave my eyes on.
She leaves her eyes on.
That's the signature move of a makeup artist.
But she is definitely like, give me the wipe, I'm taking this stuff off and I'm leaving. So what's your like beauty must-haves? What do you like? What don't you like? What is it that you do?
Skincare is huge to me because I do believe that short-term fixes like eyelash extensions and things, anything that possibly takes away from the foundation below, I don't indulge in, because I believe if you always wear your SPF and you always keep your skin healthy, then everything else is additive. So I've always cared a lot of getting my makeup off properly. I'm not loyal to one skincare line. I love Dermalogica. I tend to like things that don't add a lot of crap into what they're doing. But I've always been someone that's more about the long-term maintenance and care than the short-term beauty moment.
Gotcha.
You know, whether it's tanning looks better. Yeah, but at a young age, I covered myself because I was like, I don't want to age.
I don't want to look like a piece of fried chicken or, you know, something later. Like
I don't want to be a piece of leather in my early 40s when I could just put SPF and zinc oxide on, which I did. They called me powder when I went to the beach because I used to cover up like in full-blown shirts. It wasn't like sexy. Like when you see a celebrity, you're like, they're so beautiful. And they have these big hats on. No, mine was anything close, just
But
covered.
you're young, so what is prompting you to think about that at that time? Like,
well, my mom was a nurse, and so getting everyone checked out for skin cancer and things was always her thing. So we were always being told the sun can cause damage, not for aging, but for cancer. So I was always in big hats and covered.
Gotcha.
And I wear SPF every day, like every day. Winter, dark morning, doesn't matter. SPF is on my face
midnight
until I'm indoors.
Let me put this SPF on.
Oh my God, the sun in our bedroom is awful. So I will often I slather in that. But I think when it comes to the pressures of like beauty, I don't feel it typically because I think so much of the one, you're in good hands. When I meet people like you, as I said earlier, the best of everything comes to New York. So when you get put in a chair for hair or makeup, you're getting an elite level of person that's come from every region of this country, possibly the globe.
Right.
Hey, Haiti. That's Karen. Sorry.
Karen gets shots out on this show every time.
I said, Karen. She said, what, baby, you okay?
Like, you would have thought Karen was a co-host on here.
Do Peach? Of course she
because
does.
Yvette Nicole Brown, she was like, shout out to Karen. I'm like, Karen ain't here.
Karen, you know I'm only friends with him to be closer to you.
Oh my gosh.
But like so you get the best of the best. So in this business, I have gotten the honor of sitting in the chairs of people like you who literally are visionaries.
I miss doing your hair.
I know.
We were
such a good team. And
we
by
were.
team, I mean I did this so well. Move to the right.
Right. But
Left.
It was just fun. You were creative. I always love people that allow you to be creative. And you have such a beautiful canvas. It just made it easy.
I think it's a waste to sit down in an artist's chair and say, you know what I'd like you to do? Like, seriously? You want to hear what I want you to do? Like, come on. I think the best way to receive hair and makeup is to sit down and say, what do you see? Do it.
Right.
Because there's not going to be any level of production on hair or your face that's really that bad. It may be like, I liked this one more than that one.
Sometimes. But
Not with me, though.
not with you, though.
Yeah.
You always have had. Even when it was not me, you've always had great people.
Just fun stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, there are, at the level we're at,
Yes.
for the most part, there are elite teams.
Yes.
But then I don't really feel, one thing that I'm very comfortable in is just my own skin, being myself, because at the end of the day, you can't cover yourself up enough to convince people you're something you're not. That's why I always say when people say, that's not my good angle or it's not this, I'm all for going with the second shot when your whole arm looks like it's like covering the frame. But for the most part, if there's a bad angle you don't like in a picture, surprise, everyone's seen that angle in real life. So pretending you're something you're not by like posing and planning and plotting is never going to work. So I just lean right into this is what you're going to get. It is what it is. So
that's why I love you. The realness of who you are just shines through.
Thank you, dear.
My last one. What is beautiful to you?
Beauty to me is a kind heart. I think when you see people and you can see it in their eyes when you meet them, I've been duped a few times, but I'm rarely wrong about this. When you see someone and they come in all shapes, sizes, packages, colors, whatever, and you see that look in their eye of a sweet, calm kindness, like they're okay and they're here to give, they're inevitably beautiful to me.
Oh, and you see it in me, right?
I do.
Even though I look like Idris Elba.
No, you're distracting because you also like Chance the Rapper, which is weird, right? Because Chance the Rapper, Idris Elba. You also look a little like Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum,
Who else
yes.
was it?
Oh my God, there's been so many. There's Cool J.
Just real quickly,
Yeah.
Derek takes a moment with certain guests to, and he's not
we
joking.
were on the show. When we were at the show.
When we were at the View.
Yes.
And he's not joking. We're laughing now. He wasn't joking. And he goes up and very seriously says...
To Idris Elba.
Idris. I know this sounds crazy. You know, a lot of people say, I look a little like you. You know? I caught him doing the same speech to Chance the Rapper. Now, he's got like the sisterhood of the traveling face because these people don't even look the same themselves, yet Derek looks like all of them.
You know what's funny though is when I told Idris Elba, he was like, yeah, like I could be your dad. And I was like...
Was that your British accent? We need to work on that.
What?
But don't worry, because they don't tell me I sound like you. So.
Oh my God. Okay, that was my
I missed the laughing so much, the pain in my stomach laughing.
I know. It hurt. It's right here.
It does hurt a little. Well, there go my abs.
I know, right? Whew, okay. So, yeah, but I was like, how young does he think I am?
See? So you're young and beautiful. How hard is it, Derek?
It's hard.
Tell us.
Daily. I'm just trying to make it through. Try not to intimidate people.
People don't know the struggle I have. I'm so young and beautiful.
I'm not.
You are.
Oh my gosh. Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for this pain in my stomach from laughing. I hope that we can even hear anything that you said because I've laughed through most of it.
I've laughed because this has really just been an excuse to hang out.
Really has been. This is an excuse. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
And watch Sarah. I'm making it your song.
Thank you.
Sarah, Strahan, and Keke.
We just don't even worry about it. Just put Sarah in front of everything and you're good to go in life.
Yes. 1 o'clock, ABC.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you, dear. Let's end how we started.
Yes.